a scarf.
Oh, shoot. Is that the one you wore to work?
Yes.
Holy Toledo.
And I never took it off.
Did you wear it while reading books?
And oop.
Do you want a scarf too?
I never look good in this scarf.
You look so cute in a scarf.
Theoretically.
Do you know how to tie it properly? I'll teach you.
Oh, that's probably the problem. Probably the problem.
And oop.
There is a proper way to tie a scarf. I learned that when I lived in London.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I shall teach you.
And oop.
This isn't it, by the way, what I'm doing right here.
Is it like tying a tie?
It's way less complicated than tying a tie. Do you know how to tie a tie?
I do.
Wow.
It might take me a second, but yeah, Kurt
taught you?
Grandpa Curtis taught me how to tie a tie.
I do
but
not.
there's various knots.
Oh, yeah.
Knots that
Yes.
you can do. And he taught me, I couldn't even tell you what he taught me. Windsor?
Was that for going to church?
No. I don't know why I had to tie a tie. When did I wear a tie when I was...
Did you wear a tie at church or no?
No.
At their wedding? Your parents' wedding?
No.
And oop.
When did I wear a tie? But I had this cool... I thought it was cool, but it was like skinny and dark red. This was when like paisley pattern was hot, but I didn't like that. I thought it was just too much. So mine was a skinny, dark red tie that I wore.
Like a school dance, maybe?
No.
Or graduation?
It was like middle school.
Huh.
I'm not sure. I wore it when I needed to wear a tie. When a young man needs to wear a tie. And then I remember like I took it to dry cleaning because I was extra about my tie, and they couldn't find it one time, and I was freaking out like, you gotta find this tie, and I always feel like, because my friend from high school, Eric Gray, worked at a dry cleaner, and sometimes, like, I don't know how it is nowadays, but back in the day, like, you give them your receipt and they're like, oh, okay, and then they hit a button and like the whole like carousel comes around.
I remember that.
And in this particular instance, the carousel came around, and then like the ticket said it wasn't there, or the ticket said it was missing, or
Was it just your one little tie?
Yes.
So it would have been just like one little single tie coming around the carousel?
Yeah. And then it wasn't there, and I always felt for Eric Gray, because sometimes things would be like either stained or missing, or people would be like, oh, well, what did you do to this? Because I remember I would like hang out with him sometimes.
At the dry cleaners?
Yeah, we would listen to Boyz II Men. The number 2 album, Water Runs Dry, was our favorite. And I would, this would be on Fridays, and it would be before we would go to our high school football game, Rancho Bernardo high school football game. So how it went was I would go to dry cleaner for like the last hour of the shift. They closed at 5 or whatever, maybe 6. And so I would go to dry cleaner. Sometimes I would get him lunch or dinner. He liked Burger King. And I would show up at his job, and we would just hang out for like an hour. And then when he closed up at 5 or 6, then we would head to the Rancho Bernardo High School Broncos football game Friday night.
Is he the one who lost your tie?
No. The people who lost my tie, it was a dry cleaner that was closer to where I lived.
Was it ever found?
Yes. Because they were like, oh, we don't know where it is. But then they called later They're like, oh, we have it. So
I can see one single tie getting lost.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm surprised you had such concern for this tie that you never wore.
It was such a cool tie. I wore it. I can't think of when I wore it.
You didn't even wear a tie to our wedding.
Maybe that's true. Well, it's very business casual now, honey.
Our wedding was it was semi-dress casual.
Yeah. But I probably wore it to a wedding here and there.
Yeah.
I bet if we asked my mom, she would go through
I bet she would know.
her photo albums.
Is that the only tie you've owned in your life?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you know what's funny? I'll show you after this, but I think we have a formal picture of you, like in your 20s, in like a red and black getup.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
But no tie.
I don't remember.
Hmm.
Anyway, we'll look after this. I want to see you in a tie.
Where is it? It's on the internet?
No, it's on that.
Oh, it's in a photo. Oh, okay. I think it was like a red shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
A dressed up Vince is a rare sight, it turns out.
Well, I always thought like, because Kurt, he doesn't actually now, maybe just across the board, like, we've gone less or more casual, less formal.
I always have a hard time gauging if I'm an appropriate level of dressy or casual, because I'm super casual. But I wonder if it's because we're Californians. And I know that's like a stereotype, but I do think like the West Coast is a lot more casual than the East Coast people. Depending on your job.
It's different for men and women. But I see some people who work, you know what I do and you know where I work.
Oh yeah.
But I see some people and I'm like, did you walk in from off the street? Like they got ripped jeans and hoodies.
Did you sleep in your car?
Right, did you sleep in your car? Are you currently temporarily experiencing, and I'm just like, wow, like, well, it's like Alicia Silverstone when she said, boys, roll out of bed,
yes.
Throw on a backwards hat, and expect us to swoon. I don't think so. But yeah, I see a lot of workers where I'm like, wow, you do not care. They're wearing pajamas, pretty much. They're wearing pajamas and sandals with socks or Crocs. It's like, dude, yeah, have you no pride?
And oop.
I couldn't even tell you.
That was a fun detour.
We had a similar conversation like this in summer, but I would like you. So it's cold here.
It's so cold.
It's flipping cold. You have scarves. Is that how we got on ties?
Oh yeah, tie. I know the proper way to tie a scarf.
That's
how we got on that.
You are currently wearing a scarf. We're currently in our bedroom.
You're wearing a beanie on your head.
I'm wearing a beanie.
Let it be.
You're under blankets. Yes.
Let it be said though that we're both wearing tank tops.
Yes. Yes.
So.
It's like Lennox. He comes out of his room wearing only shorts. He's completely shirtless.
Sockless.
And he's like, I'm cold. And it's like, well, put on a shirt, dude.
Oh my God. Every single night at dinner, because at the dinner table, we don't let him bring his blanket. And he's just wearing shorts only. And he's like, I'm cold. Dude, put on a shirt or a hat or a sock.
So it's cold. We're in West Sacramento.
It's winter.
It's very close to Sacramento. But it's been like in the 30s sometimes, mostly in the 40s, low 50s. It's hella cold right now.
Yeah, like high. That's been the high.
Yeah. And we had a similar conversation during summer, honey. But I would like you to express the feeling that you want to turn on the heater.
We did. And I think like on the pod, we had this very debate.
Yes.
Our podcast here that we're doing.
Yeah. But we didn't set it up. Because I was just recording and then like the AC, you were watching. Anyways.
Okay. So.
Yes.
When I talk about using either the AC or the heat, and I'm talking about our home.
I'm currently shivering. Yeah.
I say turn it up or turn it down.
Yes.
And what I'm referring to is the temperature.
Temperature.
But we always get into this disagreement because when you hear up, you think like blast the cold, blast the heat, turn up the veracity of the air.
Well, when I hear up, it's abstract.
Okay. So I wonder if you do you know how an AC and a heater work? Because how it works is it shows you the temperature in your house. And
temperature.
Then if you have the heater on, or if you have the cooler on, it shows you the temperature in your house, and it shows you what temperature you want your house to become.
Yes. There's two numbers.
By either heating it or cooling it. Yes. So when I say turn the heater up, I'm talking about temperature hotter. Up, hot, hot. When I'm talking about the AC, turn it down, I'm talking about turn the temperature down, down, down. So colder. But
in regards to the heater the other night, you said turn it down, or you turned it down. Okay.
Oh, this is what happened.
Yes. Well, give me hard numbers here. Because,
okay, I will.
Yes.
This is what happened. This is where
Don't give me percentages like the media with COVID, okay? There's 47%. Well,
I never did.
2 of 5 is 40%, Mr. Mainstream Media. Yes.
This is where our quarrel came from.
Yes.
You went to sleep early, as you do. In the evenings on a weeknight. You come in here at 8 p.m. You lay down and fall asleep. Mm-hmm. I stay up because I go to each child's bedroom and lay with them and chat with them.
That's another thing.
That's another thing we fight about.
We don't fight.
We don't fight.
We have a difference of opinion.
We never fight. So, you went to sleep. I went to lay and chat with the kids. It was 60 degrees in our house. Mm. And then I was like, I think the low tonight is going to be 30.
Yeah.
So I was imagining if we leave our heater off all night, because we always leave our heater off all night.
Yeah.
Because we're all in bed and and it's a waste.
Yeah.
So, but I was worried if we left the heater off all night, what if our house gets down to 50 degrees?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, lower?
Yeah.
And then how do you come back from that? And then in the morning we have to get up and get ready for work and school, and it's just going to be ice cold.
You don't. You freeze to death like Mark Hamill nearly did in the first Star Wars.
So, you were already sleeping. I didn't want to wake you or consult you. I just made this decision on my own.
Yes.
Before I came to bed, I turned our heater on, and I set it to 61 degrees.
Okay.
That means...
What was the current temperature in our home?
It was 59.
59. You set it to 61.
I set it to 61. 61. Okay. That means that the house will maintain a temperature of 61. If it drops below that, the heater will kick in and make it be 61 degrees.
Correct.
And I did that when we went to sleep because I didn't want our house to get cold during the night.
Okay.
And then the next day you were like, the heater was on in the morning when I woke up.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I had it on all night. Because I didn't want to get too cold.
Because it couldn't get from 50... It couldn't get up to 61. It was at 15... It couldn't get up 2 degrees?
No, it could have. And it did. So it maintained a temperature of 61 all night long.
Maintained. Well, I woke up at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. and I turned it off.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Because we're bundled up and snuggled up at that point. But, okay, I get that, but... When Luna overheard our conversation, you said I turned the temperature down. I was at the thermostat, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And you said I turned the temperature down, and I said, "What does that mean?" And then you explained it, and then darling daughter Luna Marie said, "That's really confusing."
She always takes your side. It's so crystal clear in my mind, and I don't understand why we have this discussion so often.
What was happening in that specific moment? Do you remember?
No.
Okay.
I just remember you were like, the heater was on last night, and I was
No. Okay. But in this specific time that I'm talking about, you said, I turned it down, and I said, well, did you turn... the target temperature down?
This is exactly what I told you in the summer when it was the air conditioning. Now we're talking about the heater.
Yes.
If I ever say up or down, I'm always referring to the temperature.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Period.
But see, when you say I turned it down, I think you're turning the workload
I know that's
of
what
the
you
temperature
think.
down.
I know, but I'm telling you.
Right.
I've told you before and I'm telling you now.
Right.
I'm always referring to the temperature because that's what you're setting when you push the buttons. Do, do, do.
Right.
You're setting the temperature. So if I'm turning it up, I'm turning the temperature higher. If I'm turning it down, I'm turning the temperature cooler.
Right.
Downward.
Which increases the workload of the HVAC or decreases?
It depends. If it's AC and you turn it up, you're decreasing. But if you turn the AC down, you're increasing because you're blowing more coldness to make it colder.
Wait. If you're turning the target temperature up, that during an AC time.
Our audience is so enthralled right now, I'm sure.
It's fascinating.
I feel like let's
I feel like you should just add like another 6 words to I turned it down. I turned the target temperature down.
Okay, so you need more information.
Yes.
So I'll be like, it's 65 degrees in here. I turned the heater down to 63, which means that the workflow will decrease because it's not working to heat up our home anymore. Because I said our home is fine at 63.
Right.
Is that what you need?
Yes.
Okay.
I need a paragraph. I need a soliloquy. Or it's 63 in here. I'm turning it to 65 to increase the heat.
Okay.
Capacity.
Okay. I can do that for you, I think.
I think we can workshop it. Mm-hmm. Maybe bring in an editor like Judy Farah. These are
the bumps you come across in a marriage. You gotta work these things out.
Well, they're not even bumps. They're just
it's a bump.
Different viewpoints.
I'm bumped.
Like when you tell me to put the butter knives in the dishwasher, knife face down,
blade down, which you still don't do. You still put the blade up.
I do it sometimes, but let me throw this at you. Let me throw this dough into the oven and see if it rises. A fork is more potentially damaging than a butter knife.
May I have a counter argument to that?
No.
You're absolutely correct. Yes. However, a fork, visually, you can see much easier that the pokes are upward.
And it won't even fit going down.
Exactly. But a knife, it's like, it's a little bit, I mean, my eyesight isn't great. So, it's hard for me to tell the blade handle from the handle from blade. Okay.
But if you do make that fatal mistake of grabbing a butter knife by the blade, I think you'll be okay, honey.
Well,
that's my only point.
It pokes me for a moment, and I get a little ouchy.
No, you don't. It's a butter knife. It's a butter knife. It's the most harmless thing on the planet.
Okay.
It's like a feather. Yes.
You know it's true that you could kill a man with a butter knife.
Okay.
Is that not true? That's true.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
You could kill a man with many things. A remote control.
You can't kill a man with a feather. Can you?
If it's a sharp feather with...
the pokey end of the feather.
Structural integrity. There's got to be a movie. There's got to be a scene.
And oop.
Do you finally get the AC heater? Do you get my perspective? Or does it still elude you?
I would like more context.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally okay with giving you more context. I can do that for you. Okay?
And oop.
Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hey.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me in our bedroom, in our bed, for our little program here. Okay, so Luna's been watching movies. So we have dinner, we talk about our day, and Luna seems to always come with that she watched a movie
At school.
at school.
Yeah.
And it's been like a lot recently. She's watched such things as Lion King 1 and Lion King 2 to learn about Africa. Under the guise of learning about Africa, she's watching talking animals in Africa, which boggles my mind. She's watched Inside Out, The Giver, which I don't know. Do you know that movie?
Yeah. The Giver, it's based on a really popular book.
Okay.
Also called The Giver.
Okay.
And that's for her English class because they read the book and then they also were watching the movie.
She's watched Ben-Hur, and most recently she's watched Little Giants, the 1994 classic with Rick Moranis and Al Bundy.
And that's a movie about like a football team,
Yes.
right? And she's watching that in her sports elective class.
Right.
Which is really funny.
Okay. So, many thoughts here. Well, first of all, Little Giants. And because it's raining, right? It's cold, it's rainy. So PE's, you can't go outside. PE's canceled, or let's watch this stupid movie with Rick Moranis. When I was a young man, and PE was canceled, we had a gymnasium. Does Luna's school have a gymnasium? Do they have an auditorium? Do they have class?
They do. Yeah.
And then, so back in my day, when I was a young man, 40-ish years ago, okay, 30, it'd be raining outside. We still had a gym with basketball courts, so we would play basketball or do drills inside the gym. Why are they watching Little Giants with Al Bundy?
Why do you want Luna to suffer just because you had to suffer? Don't you want better for the next generation?
Did you say butter or better?
I said butter, and I meant better. I was hoping you didn't notice.
It's the BTS song, honey. I think playing inside a gym, it shows adaptability,
tenacity.
I'm thinking of a word that starts with a C, but I can't think of it right now. But you can do a bunch of stuff inside. So
yeah, and I'm sure they do, because I know that they, like, it's back in the beginning of the school year when it was so smoky they couldn't go outside. They would have PE inside and lunch inside, recess, and now it's so cold and rainy they can't go outside. So I'm sure they're not watching movies every time. Maybe the teacher was just like, it's December. I'm over this. I'm ready for the winter break.
Yeah. Well, I think all these movies, and Lennox is watching movies too. He's watching Christmas Carol, and Elf the other day, right?
His class is a lot less than Luna's classes are.
And Luna's, she's not in one teacher all day, so she's seeing this movie. But I just think, okay, so more thoughts. PE, you watch a movie. Ever hear of Rudy? Sean Astin before he became fat?
I think he's always had a similar body type his whole life.
He's put on a few, honey. Rocky, put on a sports inspirational movie.
Okay, Little Giants. You know what they could also watch is that Butterflies soccer movie with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, Ladybugs.
Butterfly.
What's up with you and butter, honey?
I don't know.
Butter. Ladybugs. That's where the Jonathan something brand. He dresses like a girl. Right?
Yeah, so he can be on the team.
And then what's the Amanda Bynes?
Oh, that's
wacky movie.
Like a man, or just
she dresses up like a boy.
She pretends to be a boy to go to an all boys school. I forget why.
What's up with all this cross dressing in the 90s? But anyway, you can put on a movie. There's a great Sylvester Stallone who was in Rocky. He was in a soccer movie called Victory. You probably never heard of it.
I haven't.
Early 80s. I actually haven't seen it, but Grandpa Curtis told me about it. And it's supposed to be a spectacular sports movie. But put on a sports-themed movie.
You think Rocky's appropriate for 12-year-olds to watch?
Absolutely.
What does Rocky teach that Little Giants can't?
Well, Rocky is a film classic. Like, seen as a great achievement in filmmaking, whereas Little Giants, it stars Rick Moranis, and until yesterday I thought it was starred Tom Arnold also, but Al Bundy.
Rocky has a statue in his honor.
Right. Philadelphia.
Rick Moranis does not.
Yes. Rick Moranis is in Mint Mobile commercials with Ryan Reynolds. Okay. Next thing. When I was a young man, honey, now our age difference is 6 to 7 years, depending on what time of the year. But movies were like rare. Like Luna coming in with a movie, it seems like every week. I watched a movie. We watched a movie. Oh, they put on a movie. And I realize times are different now, but like when we watched a movie, it was something special.
They rolled in the TV on that giant
The cart.
The cart. Oh yeah. That was similar when I was in school.
Yeah.
You and I are more of the same generation.
Okay.
Obviously than us and the kids.
And when you walked in and you saw the cart, you're like, oh.
You're like, hell yes.
It's about to be on and popping. Or like the teacher was like, okay, well today we're going to watch a movie. And then the cart came in, you're like, ooh yeah. But now with the internet, it's much easier and quicker. So are teachers just resorting to movies? It's like, I have nothing planned today.
The history teacher showing Luna's class Lion King to learn about Africa?
Yeah.
What?
Ridiculous.
I don't think any of my teachers ever did anything that nonsensical.
Right.
I don't know. Are they lazy? Is it the end of the quarter or the semester, so they're just being more relaxed?
Yeah.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to the principal and get to the bottom of this.
Yes.
And
finally, just in terms of the setup, so I'm asking Luna, I'm like, oh, does the school have a Netflix account? Do you guys have Roku, Amazon Fire TV? What?
You're like, do they still roll in the TV on the tray?
Yeah. And so I'm like, what's the deal? Like, do you have internet? Are they smart TVs? Like every TV has like a interface now. You can go to Hulu and Amazon Prime Video and blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to nail down, like, how does that work exactly? And she said, I don't know, my teacher downloads it. And I said, what? And we got into specifics, and my wife told me I can't get into specifics, but
I said you couldn't make any accusations. You could only make suspicions.
Right. And so my suspicion is that there isn't a shared Netflix login at the school, if you know what I'm saying. Okay.
And
So we're in the midst of the holidays. Christmas is 8 days away. Christmas music is everywhere. And I've been hearing Burr Live's Holly Jolly Christmas aplenty. It's omnipotent, if you will. Now, but just one particular stanza in the lyrics. Is stanza the right word? Okay. Mm-hmm. One particular stanza I had a beef with. Now, first of all, if you Google Holly Jolly Christmas, it comes up with Michael Bublé. And I realized, okay, he did Holly Jolly Christmas, but no one knows that version. It's all about the Burl Ives version. Yeah. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now, the particular stanza, it's not a Nissan. It is a Nissan, but stanza is also a...
Is that a car model?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, back in the day.
Oh, jeez.
Back when Nissan made the Sentra, honey, and the Stanza. Oh, those are good times. Do they still make the Maxima? But anyways, Burl Ives, Holly Jolly Christmas. So the particular part that I had issue with, so he goes, ho, ho, the mistletoe. Okay, it's Christmas, there's a mistletoe, whatever. is hung where you can see. So if you see, so you're at a party, you see the mistletoe, and you you want to avoid it if someone you don't want to kiss is there. But if someone you want to kiss is around, you want to hang around the mistletoe. Have you ever kissed someone by the mistletoe, honey?
I can't remember. Have you?
No. But I've been next to a mistletoe, but I was with a friend, and so it was like, we're not.
Did you kiss your friend?
No.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
I know. A few years ago, I bought what I thought was a little thing of mistletoe, and I taped it to the ceiling in my apartment. Mm-hmm. Turns out it was not mistletoe. Oh. It was just like a sprig of a Christmas tree. I thought it was mistletoe for weeks.
How did you? Is there some mistletoe commission or army or police that came to your door and said this isn't?
No,
how did you know?
I was just looking back on pictures after the holiday had passed.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, wait a second. That is like a fir tree branch. That is not mistletoe.
So you were swindled by this store?
Yeah. Well, they were. I just remember getting it. I don't remember it being particularly advertised.
Yeah.
It was just for sale, these little bundles, these little branches.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, mistletoe. And I bought it and taped it to my ceiling.
Yeah. I think that's what happens with most people, honey. They get a little pine cone and maybe tape some pine needles to it, and it becomes mistletoe. I don't think there's a mistletoe commission.
Is mistletoe even a real thing? Has anyone verified?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And oop.
No. Ho, ho, the mistletoe is hung where you can see. Okay, so here's my issue. Somebody waits for you. Stop. Pause. So, okay, Burl Ives is a man. Well, he doesn't indicate if you is a man or woman, but are people waiting under the mistletoe? Like, oh, I'm waiting for that lady in the corner to come by and get some appetizers so I can. Somebody waits for you. What does that mean? Are people standing by the mistletoe?
I don't know. I guess if you're desperate enough.
Yeah. Somebody waits for you.
And oop.
So what is this? An Illuminati orgy? It's just people randomly kissing people under the mistletoe. Somebody waits for you. Okay, and so this is what I've heard for decades. I've been alive for nearly 3 decades, honey.
Nearly 5.
Nearly 5 decades. Where's your done? Somebody waits for you. Again, randos hooking up under the mistletoe. What is this, the 1970s?
I don't know. I'm jealous.
The next line is, and I'll sing what I've always heard as Izzurr, one for me. Yeah.
Izzurr, one for me.
Izzurr, one for me. So, somebody waits for you. That's clear. Izzurr, one for me. That's what I've always heard. And I always interpreted it as, is there one for me? So you're out here kissing randos under the mistletoe. Hey, is there one for me?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And Izzurr is an odd pronunciation.
Izzurr.
But I thought Burl Ives, either he had maybe a few too many old fashions in the music studio that night, or he was just trying to be cool, like it's gonna be May. You kind of throw off the pronunciation a little, and it becomes a thing. So I always thought it was somebody waits for you. Izzurr, is there one for me? And so the other night, I said something to the effect of that. We were doing whatever we were doing. And he said, that's not the line. And I was like, what?
I was like, what are you saying?
Izzurr, one for me. So, the actual line, according to Burl Ives, somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. So what does this mean?
Why is somebody else kissing somebody for you?
Right. Right.
Your lyric makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So my lyrics, well, they make a lot more sense, but even my version, it's still kind of odd. Like, hey, is there a girl by the mistletoe for me?
That's totally understandable. Like,
yeah, like, hey, we're bros and we're hanging out. We're trying to hook up.
2 guys looking for 2 gals.
Yeah.
That's totally reasonable.
On December 24. But yeah, the actual lyrics, kiss her. So Burl Ives' homeboy hooks up with the girl under the mistletoe, and Burl Ives is saying, kiss her once for me. That's very odd.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kiss my girl for you, Burl Ives.
Right. That'd be like me. So I used to party, honey. I used to go to the club. That'd be like me at a club with Matt Furuzawa, and he sees a fetching young lady under the mistletoe at this club. Oddest club ever, first of all. And then, so he starts making out with her under the mistletoe. And I say, hey, Matt, kiss her once for me.
He'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right? What is this?
Get out of here.
What is this, polygamy? What's going on here? Right. But if I said, hey, Matt, is there one for me? Like, oh, well,
does she have a friend?
Does she have a friend?
Exactly.
Tell you, as Biggie Smalls said, tell your friends to get with my friends, and we can be friends. Right? That absolutely makes sense.
Totally.
But me saying, hey, kiss her once for me, he'd be like, dude,
no,
you weirdo.
I will not kiss her once for you.
Right.
Is Burl Ives alive? I think you should send him an email or tweet at him.
I'm gonna cancel.
Cancel
Burl Ives.
Out here stealing people's girls.
Cancel Burl Ives for these horrifying lyrics, encouraging swinging and partner sharing,
swapping girls,
swapping
them around.
How about finding the right one, Burl, and sticking with it for life? Burl Ives died in 1995. Oh,
too late.
In power. Well, alrighty. Well, we're ending whatever this is on a downer, honey. Is this the end, honey?
It is.
Okay, it's time for Ritz Crackers. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Simply Safe. We don't have a promo code for Simply Safe. Goodbye. I love you. We love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may have said my wife should bleed from grabbing a butter knife by the blade, but I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Bye-bye.